Stop saying that. It's already started. You're live.
Oh shit! Hi everyone. I hope you're good. Thank you so much for joining us. There was no intro there because this is a special edition of the show, the post Xbox Bethesda showcase, and this is it. Joined by the GameOnDaily team, we got Acer.
Yeah, that's me. Wait, that was my intro. Welcome everyone to another special day. Was it everything that you hoped? There's a little poll up. Give us your little vote. And we'll dig into the games.
Yeah, poll.
They're called Polish people, Acer.
You know, the YouTube polls allow 4 options. So at first I was going to do an out of 10 count. I was like, oh, it's not letting me get anywhere near. Out of 5, close enough. You can vote on that. 5, 4, 3, or crap.
There you go.
I thought that was out of 10 and I voted 5. Oh, damn it. I thought you were trolling. I'm an idiot. Okay, wow. And we got Virtuous Saboteur, aka Jason Try, aka Man of a Million Faces, and Seif. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? How's everyone watching? You guys, did you enjoy that show? Did you enjoy the Bethesda showcase and shit? We're going to talk about it because you talked about it earlier. It was really exciting. Xbox Bethesda showcase. I do beg your pardon. I'm so sorry. But yes, that was interesting. Are we disappointed or are we satisfied? Let's dive in.
Yes, we shall. So just minimize the smacking your chest in with that microphone. That looked wrong. But
I was not smacking my chest, sir. I really enjoyed the Starfield footage. No, I'm joking.
Your mic's a little bit loud. But yeah, so people in chat. We had our show on Saturday, yesterday. Wow. And we have now finally had the benefit of watching the show. I have my thoughts on it. But before I go and dominate the chat with my loud, obnoxious, stupid voice, I think we should go. Should we do this by game?
Where
or should I give a score?
Start at the beginning. Let's go step by step.
You know, I'm going to start with the beginning. I thought the show was disappointing. For me, maximum score 6 out of 10. Max. Kind of feeling like a 5 out of 10, but more like a 6 out of 10. But there was some.
Take your mind up, man. What is this?
Look, I am. Okay, so chat is all over the place. And it was mid. Like some people say mid. I think mid is a sensible place for that. And I think I'm quite surprised that so many missing things. We said it yesterday. You all agreed yesterday. Xbox need to go for the jugular. And in some tiny bits, in my opinion, they went out in many ways. Nah, I don't. For me, it's a 5 to 6 out of 10. I'm not happy with. I just doesn't feel like Xbox really went all out with this show for me. Everyone's different, but there are some real big highlights.
We're so different. Save the highlights. Let's just go for the overall and then we'll go game by game because I think all three of us have pretty much picked more or less the same highlights and most people will probably agree because there were some real standouts in there. For me, if I were to make one really solid prediction before this show, it would be the same one that I should make every single year. Gaz is going to be disappointed. Every show ever.
You can make money.
Put your money on it. Like he gets so hyped up every year. It's disappointing. So that would have been
like me with Star Wars, man.
Bet.
Just keep your hopes down and everything will be fine.
For me, so they obviously they were very clear from the outset that they were focusing on 12 months, and I've seen some people are happy with that and think it was a great idea. Some people don't. I've always said that I don't want to see like CGI trailers for games that are years and years out. I think they probably should have extended it to about 18 months so they could catch the big holiday games from next year because they could have used a couple of more like big wow factors, and you know that they've got those saved up for November, December the following year. So if they just opened up the gate a little bit, I don't think anybody would be disappointed. For me, the 12 months, though, there's not a shortage of things to play in those 12 months. So I'm not so disappointed. I wouldn't go as low as 5. But there were definitely some omissions, some things that I wanted to see that I didn't. So I'm gonna go 7.
7? Okay. What about you, Seif? Finally, will you tell me? You watched it with us. We're gonna have a reaction vid like we did the Summer Game Fest tomorrow, hopefully, when I can get it done. What did you think? Safe virtual.
Well, listen, I was quite hyped up. I was expecting some more, but as it was going on, I had to keep my expectations down because I realized this always happens. So why am I expecting more? So in that sense, I was satisfied. It met my expectations, and I was very happy with some of what I saw. There were a couple of nice surprises, some new things I hadn't heard of before, and there's some decent gameplay that we saw. It was okay. It was all right. 6/7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I mean, where was Fable? Jake Bryant asked.
Where was Fable?
Where was Fable, the man? I got vilified for that, but that's a good question, Jake Bryant. Where was it? People, chat. Was I wrong or was I right? Well, look. The show just yesterday, we all established, we all agreed, we keep it real at GameOnDaily, yeah? And we said it has to be a fire show. They have to go pull the stops out because Starfield and Redfall delay really hurt them. And really, they've quite cleverly done, and as you said, Asa, this whole 12-month over the next 12 months thing has been designed tactically to kind of draw attention away from the fact that Xbox in 2022 doesn't have a single AAA first-party game. It has a lot of good games coming, but not a single AAA first-party game. And that, to me, is not good enough. But there's more to it. There's more nuance to it because there was some bigness there. Can I start with this? Kojima! You can guess where my source is going to be next time because, by the way, shout out to Jeff Grubb, man. Of all the insiders in the space, Jeff Grubb is the most reliable one. He has been, you got it in the neck for when Kojima said that they're working, when Death Stranding 2 was released, and a lot of, fanboys went after him and said, oh, I thought you said they're working with Xbox. Yo, that guy has pretty much not missed a beat. So shout out to Jeff Grubb for getting it right, but Kojima-sama's coming to Xbox. Do you shits know how big that is? I am so much variety, but you probably won't see the game for another 15 years, but I think that is a big thing. What do you think? Seif, you're a Kojima fan?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, sir. That is a big deal. That's a huge deal. I actually have no idea what he announced. I was just in awe of his face. Like, Kojima-san, yes! I was so excited. But, I was expecting Death Stranding Xbox Edition. I was expecting Metal Gear Solid only for Xbox Edition. I don't know. But it's very exciting news. It is really
working
pretty
with
cool.
Xbox
So that was,
Studios.
yeah, I mean, that's in collaboration. They are collaborating, sir. And that is a big deal. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got up his weird sleeves. That guy's so weird, man.
He is weird. He is weird, but in a good way.
Proper weird.
Well,
yeah.
apart from Death Stranding.
I mean, he's not Itagaki weird. That's very weird, but he's
For
pretty
someone
weird.
who thought Death Stranding was so shit, I haven't played it yet. I'm remarkably excited for the fact that Kojima's working on it.
What?
But I think just the mere spectacle of Kojima joining with Xbox. I find a tweet like, "Hey MBG, how you feeling?" Because I'm a petty, shitty little man that I am. but it was funny. Asa, come on, man. Even you who share your not disdain, but maybe like mehness of Death Stranding.
Madness.
What did you think about that?
It was it wasn't a bombshell for me to see his face there. Like, I'm more interested in every game that was a game and not a person. It's like, hey, it's me. Gameplay. I complain about like CGI, but this is just your face. But as a prospect, like, it's a far out prospect. The fact that he is working with presumably the newly forming cloud-centric, the cloud-native Xbox division, which they've set up especially to deliver the kind of games that we've never seen before. So you want a strong personality, a director with a real vision to lead us somewhere new. So I'm actually really excited for 51. It, even though they're not even ready to hint at what it is yet. I'm excited for the prospect anyway.
I'm excited for the prospect, but be under no impression this game is a long way away. I'm talking tail end of this generation away. Untitled 27 with a £5 super chat. Thank you. Because not gonna lie, if I wanted to watch the indie game show, I want to watch the indie game show. Over 30 games, most of which are indies. I don't know if that was the case, but seriously, Xbox, I all understand a lot of the disappointment in it, and I am quite honestly surprised. And I did say it before, like, we're going to have a question about the bloody management of these studios. Bro, 2018, man, they bought these studios. Where was Avowed? Where was Fable? Where was Perfect Dark? Where was Hellblade 2? Where was Compulsion's game? Where's State of Decay 3? What's going on? Like, what are these studios doing? Like, are you going to still use the COVID excuse 5 years? Or 4 years? What? It's just insane. We haven't even seen it. It'll be 5 years because for 12 months, you're not going to see Avowed. You're not going to see Fable, Perfect. Hellblade 2, man, was the game was, I don't know. That to me is shocking. I was shocked. Like, what are the Xbox studios doing? And I don't expect them in the 90-minute showcase on Tuesday. When is it? Tuesday, right?
Tuesday's the extended one, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't expect that. So
I see some people in chat saying that they're expecting like some of the gaps to be filled in there. I really don't think it is. I think it's a deeper dive. There'll be a lot of dev interviews and things like that, and it's a deeper dive into the games that we've already seen. Would not expect any new announcements to kind of knock your socks off on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Shane goes, Gaz, Phil listened to whiny clowns like you and got scared. Would only show stuff definitely in the next 12 months. Shane is the most hardcore Xbot out there, and he will just... What's your thoughts on it, Shane? How much of the score you'd give it? Yeah. So, well, that's what it was. It was just not that good. In far as, you know, the first party question is always going to be out there because we will need to see what these guys have been doing. Untitled with another super chat. Thank you so much. He goes, they are helping 343 patch in missions to mission select to infinite. I seriously don't understand why it's so hard to show more than 2 AAA's first parties. I mean, Xbox has all these studios and it's just taking them so long to get any kind of momentum going. But let's talk about the games that they did show, because I can shit on their management all day and the lack of whatever. There was some goodness in the games being revealed. Let's start with Redfall. So first of all, we all thought Starfield was going to be the game that they were going to show start the show off. They ended with that, which is interesting, very interesting. Probably a good decision, actually, in my opinion. Redfall, I didn't think. Look, Redfall looked. So we got Asa's got it on the tanks, and Asa, what did you think of Redfall, man? Because I didn't have high hopes for it. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I didn't have massively high hopes going into it before the showcase, when obviously we hadn't seen any gameplay really. It started off very slow. The opening started off very slow. I like a lot, and I don't know if it's going to be like true of the final game, but I like that there is no HUD whatsoever. So it's very much just get in there and get on with it. I expect when the game comes out, you'll probably have timers for your skills and all the rest of it that you'd expect to see. But I'm optimistic that we won't, because I prefer a nice minimal interface. The trailer started off pretty slow, and as it goes on and starts flicking through more environments and more dramatic scenarios and events, it caught my interest a lot more. The play spaces are a lot bigger and more open than I expected. I wouldn't say that it's massively like high on my list as a game that's going to blow me away, but it's pleasant. It's pleasant enough.
No, what did you think, Seif? Is this something you'd play?
Yeah, definitely something I'd play. It wasn't on my radar really initially. I wasn't particularly interested in it. Having seen the trailer now, or the gameplay, it looks like something I'd definitely play. It looks like very enjoyable, gives me kind of Dishonored vibe, maybe a little bit of Bioshock vibes as well. I love an FPS, and nice art style, graphics. Looks cool, looks fun.
To me, I'm very happy with the way Redfall looks. It looked super polished. Sound design was really good. Open world gameplay as well, so that's a lot more depth to it. I also like the character abilities. Shotgun on the purple power character, the umbrella one, because that
everyone's
one
favorite
looks.
My character, everyone's favorite character. You're not having it.
I think so.
Yeah, no, what do you mean? We'll fight. I'll fight you for it. Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay, I won't fight you for it. You can have it. Not a real life fight. You'll win that. Yeah. So it's just like the game looks great. It's the bit that you talked about at the end. My main concern was, well, I mean, visually, I'll be honest with you, it looks nice. It's not screaming next gen. There are little touches here and there that are like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. Like
particle effects and all that. Like,
it suffered visually. It suffered from the fact that they always do these streams at such a low bit rate, despite them being pre-recorded. So like right away now, you can go in and watch it at a much higher quality, and it looks a hell of a lot better. And I honestly have no idea why they don't just initially stream it at this quality to make the games look their best, which is surely what they want.
No idea.
But it happens to be the opening scenes were dark, and dark scenes suffer the most from a compressed stream. So because that's where your compression software goes, hey, we don't need to show this properly, let's just compress the crap out of that, and you can't see what's going on. And actually it looks a lot better now that you've got the nicer quality trailer.
Yeah.
It does. I went back to watch this and a few other games. Do make sure you watch back the trailers if you haven't already, because the stream, like Acer said, was terrible quality. Ray tracing on the blood, I think. But I think this is going to be really good. I was actually pleasantly surprised how polished this game looks, how proficient in the shooting looks like a lot of fun. Character abilities, I know with the chick with the umbrella is everyone's favorite, but there's also another character that will come up here who freezes them, and okay. I know you don't like stealth, but this looks really good. Also, developers, please just remove the UI. Like, I love this. Nothing, just clean. No bullets, nothing on screen. Nice. It just looks so nice. You know, it looks nice. It's just, this is the way to do it. I like that kind of.
Are we sure this is how the game's going to look, though, or is it going to be? Is it just for trailer purposes?
Sure. I'm sure it's for trailer purposes, because people will be like, I can't see how many bullets there are.
Can't see how many bullets. Is my umbrella ability ready yet? I don't know. Yeah, you're going to need to see something. But
my stamina gauge is finished.
Yeah, no, so I'm very proud of this guy's abilities that he just freezes everyone, and you know the little touches there, and they turn into stone, and the particle effects looks really good. Redfall is coming out in the next 12 months, whenever that is, bro. When like if it's coming the next 12 months, you know the next first half of next year is going to be ridiculously stacked. I don't understand how they're going to pace all of this, because Starfield, Redfall, Diablo, Forza, what are you talking about? That's insane. Like, that's ridiculous.
Do we have a definitive release date schedule they put up? Because I can't remember.
No, so they didn't. When they initially delayed Redfall and Starfield at the same time, they put them both at the first half of next year. And everything in the showcase was supposed to be within the next 12 months. So they're obviously, and we'll talk about Starfield later, I'm sure. But obviously, between the two of them, this one looks way closer to release.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. It looks really nice and polished. I think that's how much we can talk about Redfall. It looks good. It's got the talent trees and everything. It's got all the tropes there of like, you know, Left 4 Dead kind of. It's going to be a perfect game. Co-op. This is Xbox's bread and butter.
It's going to be a perfect game. That's a bold statement.
No. Perfect game for Xbox's
I think, he doesn't mean like perfect quality. Like, it's got a bit of everything.
Unless it's Apex Legends. No, not even that's not perfect. Don't you dare. So yeah, there's that. I'll tell you another game that I have never played, and everyone's giving me shit for it. Diablo. I have never played a Diablo game. Diablo 4 looked amazing to me. It just looks amazing. Although, interestingly, Asa, as we were watching it, we were confused by whether or not the game that was being shown was Diablo, because they started off with what we were thrown off by the fact that it wasn't a CGI cutscene in the standards that we're expecting from Blizzard. No,
it was. Yeah, that was confusing because it was like dark and had that terrible stream quality. Blizzard are known for phenomenal quality CGI, like best in the business CGI, and it was hard to tell what was going on in that sense in the beginning to what they were actually showing us. But that's not important, to be honest. When it actually came to the game, I've said before, I was a massive fan of Diablo 3, specifically on consoles. So Diablo 1 and 2, obviously we were much younger in those days, and they were very mouse clicky. Diablo 3, some purists will spit at me for this, but it was a far better game on console than it was on PC because they never put the control scheme into the PC version of that game, and it played so much better on a controller. So Diablo 4, they've already confirmed they're not making the same mistake. It'll be a good game wherever you play it. But it looks incredible. It looks great fun, and everybody is...
It looks really nice.
So Rod Ferguson's actually already come out and tried to get ahead of it, but everybody is concerned about the monetization after what we've seen from Diablo Immortal. So Rod Ferguson's come out after the show and said, no, this is a real game, like trying not to piss all over Diablo Immortal, but this is a game that you buy for consoles and PC. You will be able to buy cosmetics, and there will be content expansions. So like they did for the previous Diablo games, they'll add classes and story and things, but trying to encourage people that actually this is the Diablo game that you're looking for. Don't worry about what we've done on the phones. This one's going to be good. And I want to have faith. No. I want it to be as good as previous entries and as good as Blizzard can be.
I mean, what about you, Seif? Have you played Diablo before?
I've never played a Diablo game before. We were talking about it earlier on. You know, I used to watch it when I was much younger. My friend used to play it on PC. It looked really cool, really interesting, but I never got a chance to play it myself. I think now I'm interested. I might jump in. And we were talking about the lore and everything, whether or not you need to sort of know the background a little bit, you know, or you could just jump into any game. This one looks great. It looks really, really nice, and great art design, and gameplay as well. Combat looks fun. Why not? Yeah, I'm going to jump into this. It looks cool.
It does, absolutely. Shout out to 300 people watching. Smash the like button. We've got a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about here. And Diablo, for me, Diablo 4 looks like it's going to be an incredible game. A lot of people, I think, suspect, like me and Seif, are going to be jumping on this on the first time ever. And forgive me if I'm wrong, Asa, Diablo 3 had such a massive surge of players that the game suffered with some infamous error messaging because the game didn't work for so much. They couldn't handle it.
That's some memory you've got. You can't remember recent things, but you can remember that. Yeah, the first week of Diablo 3 on its PC launch was a little bit of a disaster because they had not only the online-only issues, so it was one of the early games to not be playable offline at all, even if you were playing single player. And their reasoning was the real money auction house. Yeah. So Diablo 3 launched with a very controversial system of monetization that was similar to what we see with the whole concept for NFTs these days. No more well received than those are, to be honest. Which is why people are like, you can understand people being concerned about how Blizzard are going to monetize this one, because they do have some bad form, not just from Diablo Immortal, but from a few previous games as well. Hopefully, I mean, by the time Diablo 4 comes out, Activision Blizzard should be owned by Microsoft and Xbox. This game being in this showcase is already expected to be on Game Pass, presumably with a view to the fact that they're going to be owned by them anyway, so it's an easy deal to do at that point. And hopefully, when Xbox own them and step in, the monetization won't be too egregious.
Yeah, exactly. I hope not. And the hope is with the Microsoft deal going through. There's some things that are unique here, apparently, being the fake gamer there, and they've not played Diablo games. I will abuse you, Tony, you piece of shit. The fact has it always been open world? Has it always been shared world? Are these new things?
No,
the Diablo
so
franchise?
Diablo 3 definitely wasn't open world, and it definitely wasn't shared. It was obviously co-op. You could online co-op it, but it wasn't shared world in the same way that this one is. I think Diablo Immortal does claim those features. I think Diablo Immortal presents itself as a shared world kind of MMO style experience. One thing that people weren't happy about with Diablo 3 that has been confirmed for this, Diablo 3 never implemented PvP. So Diablo 1 and 2, that was quite a popular feature. Disappeared from 3, but Immortal and 4 on screen at the moment is not PvP element. I'm making that up, but it was in the presentation somewhere. This one does have proper open PvP and some nice mechanics there. They talked about if you're good at it, like I inevitably will be. Like if you're really good, like I will be, then you'll become something of a loop in yards for everyone else. You'll get marked as a champion, and everyone will be after you. So that's how I'm going to play the game.
Champion. You are a champion, Asa.
Yeah, inevitably.
That I shall share. Yeah. So
what about the skill tree?
The skill tree. Oh yeah, great. I'm glad you mentioned that. It'll probably come up on screen shortly. What a ridiculous thing, Asa. Explain that to me. How the hell am I?
What the hell was that?
How am I supposed to understand that?
Where do you start?
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, if you ever played a game like
I just
Path of
want double
Exile,
jump.
you will have seen skill trees like it. It was big and bloated with a lot of options, which again is it's an answer to criticism they received for Diablo 3. So Diablo 1 and 2 were very much PC games, and they were very broad in the way that you could customize your character. They weren't mechanically that deep to actually play, but they gave you a lot of skill tree options. Diablo 3 simplified it, and the PC following were unhappy that they'd been given a console game, even though it was good. It was a good game. A lot of people have come around to it since, but they were unhappy that they were essentially given a simplified progression system, simplified ways of enhancing their character. So you get this, which is on screen right now. No one's going to be complaining that that's too simple.
That is ridiculous, but yeah, and apparently endgame is where the game actually starts, and there's a lot of content there, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Diablo 4, I'm very confident about this game. Having never played a Diablo game, I think this one's going to create waves. It's going to be massive for Xbox Game Pass day one. Man, you're getting a lot. There's a lot there. Like, that is heavyweight, because people want the whole third person, like me, AAA game. But you can bet your ass Sony would kill to have that as an exclusive, because there is a lot of scope with that.
If it's not clear, like, I think pretty much everyone is like in agreement that Diablo was absolutely one of the highlights of this show, because that was looking like a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me hit these super chats. Supernova, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. 6 out of 10 for him as well. Just for Starfield, Wulong, Kojima game, Forza Motorsport, Redfall. So yeah, next year is going to be the biggest year. Wait for E3 meme is alive. And why wouldn't it be? Andrew Wilkins with a $5 super chat. PlayStation fans are always right about Xbox. We told y'all Stalker 2 is 2023. Well, there was a war there, so I think they're allowed. You won't see Hellblade, Fable, Perfect Dark 2025. That is a good point. Another trasher for Failsoft. Oh God, Andrew, I thought you were a sensible person. Failsoft, come on, bruh. Well, if you thought that was a trasher, you must have loved Stoney's state of play. There was that. Okay, now another there's so much goodness here in terms of some of these individuals. Let's talk about Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels. That game looks amazing, and it's coming out next month, July, maybe sooner. I don't know, but
July.
Yeah.
Is it July?
It was July. 7 days. You said 7 days, like the 19th of July or something.
Next
his math was a bit off.
Just a little bit. But the Forza Horizon Hot Wheels, that just looks visually amazing. Looks like a ton of fun. The expansion is exactly what people wanted, because the Lego one didn't vibe with anyone. So this game looks amazing. Seif, are you a racer fan? Did you like Forza Horizon 5? Did you even play it? Who are you?
Who am I is a question for another time, sir. But no, I do like Forza. I'm not a massive realistic racing fan. I'm a Mario Kart fan. Okay, if there's green shells involved, the red shells involved, I'm in. But Forza's really good. I really enjoy Forza Horizon 5. And this DLC looks a lot of fun. I didn't know that the Hot Wheels was in cahoots with the old Forza there, but it looks really, really fun, actually. It looks really cool. So I'd probably check that DLC out.
Yeah, definitely, man. This game, like, that looks amazing. This is presumably not on Game Pass. You have to buy this separately, right?
Oh, is it? I didn't see it.
I'm not sure.
Every 5 minutes you were saying Game Pass. I have no idea.
So I don't know anymore. But
I think if this was on Game Pass, some people that paid out for the premium edition would be disappointed. The premium that let you play a few days early also included the DLC.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to need to buy this if you want to play it.
Yeah, I mean, this game looks... Yeah, I can't wait to play this. It's going to be fun. All of us in Byte Chat just played this game. It's going to be wicked. And look how visually stunning it looks. Spartan goes with a £2 super chat. The show was a bust. This was economy pass. That's a bit harsh. I thought I was harsh, but you're quite harsh. But in terms of dank visuals, like, this looks good. This looks amazing. Just looks just incredible. Something looks better than this. And that is Forza Motorsport, man. Jesus, that one
looked incredible.
Just shocked me. That this like that was the first game I, after the show ended, had to watch the high quality trailer, because the 4K trailer, because I am astounded. Asa, you've said it for ages. Turn 10 are wizards, turn 10 are wizards, turn 10 are wizards. Check them out. But this defies belief to me, because this is so far leaps and bounds ahead of its competition and what it's doing, or what we've known in the industry so far in terms of tech, that I'm just almost speechless. When am I speechless, man? Look, just look at it. I mean, there's so much to talk about here. You've got vegetation that's growing, like that's going in Fable, by the way. That technology, Peter Molyneux,
vegan friendly.
Vegan friendly indeed.
Why is the vegetation growing? Is that something that they said in the trailer?
Yeah, it's grow. You see it grow like on the track on seasons. Why is that there? I don't know.
I'm
but
quite a fast driver. The vegetation's not going to grow much in the course of one race.
Well, don't forget, it's got real-time weather effects and real-time, like, you know, the can get sunset by the time you finish playing the game.
Up a long way, or have a very long race for that to be relevant.
Yeah, very long race.
yeah. No, but if you see. Sorry, go on, Nathan.
I was just going to say, when we were on the Forza Horizon Hot Wheels DLC, I was going to say that looked really good, but I was surprised that they showed it after Forza Motorsport, because damn, did that look good. So Forza Horizon 5's DLC, they could have put that up and people would have gone, wow, that looks incredible.
Yeah.
And then put up Forza Motorsport. They did it the other way around, which is minor. It's not really like a big dig at the show or anything, but Forza Motorsport, said so many times that is, if you want to see what the Xbox Series X can do, like what the potential for that console is, Turn 10 are going to be the ones that show us. Can this console do ray tracing in a real gameplay scenario? Wait for Turn 10. If anyone's going to, like, they are Microsoft's number one. Coalition are up there close, but Turn 10 are the number one incubator studio for the technologies. So these are the guys. What you're seeing looks incredible, but they're not just doing it for themselves. This is the stuff that will bleed through to other studios and games as we go forwards. And
and that's a very, very exciting prospect. That's incredible.
It is. That's
like, even the damage on the car, the reflection, the water effects, everything that goes into this, the level of detail, individual scratch marks. Yeah, it's crazy. I was saying it's unnecessary, but it's so cool.
Don't give them ideas. Let them be. Let them go for the blue sky.
Go for broke.
Really. Go for broke, and they're not. They've made bloody Polyphony digital broke. Someone said, what was the guy's name from Polyphony? Yeah, he is not going to be happy. They have well and truly buried the game is not even out there, so you may technically not be fine, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay. And this is where they show on stream, like the plants growing, I think. Yeah, look, see the seasons of the flowers. That there is showing either you're really slow in the race, but also that's the kind of tech, you know, they're very closely linked to and work together with playground games. That's kind of tech you could expect to see in Fable. If you know anything about Fable and its past legacy, Peter Molyneux promised that, you know, if you cut up a tree, then when you grow up in the game, the tree would not grow, or the trees would grow, whatever.
Or you plant a tree and
plant a tree and it would grow, or something like that. Yeah. And that's kind of tech. Like, if a racer is doing it, and the visual fidelity of this game is astounding, and in its totality, from environments to crowds to the trees, we saw with and it's not. I'm not just console warring, but it's a point of, like, with some utility to compare it with Gran Turismo 7, because it's so far beyond that based on what we've seen here.
It's left in the dust.
It has left it in the dust. It's literally lapping it considerably, especially if you talk about the ray tracing. We're talking about, they mentioned, what did they say? You could see the reflections of the reflections in the car. What was that?
Yeah, so that's like, it's a little bit nerd stuff when you get into that, which is fine. So ray tracing, you can choose how many times a reflection bounces, and once is obviously the most cost effective, because most people aren't looking for reflections in reflections. So Spider-Man on the PlayStation is a good example of bouncing once. It reflects a long way, but if you see a reflection in that reflection, it's not there anymore. Forza sounds like it's going all the way with the reflections bouncing off each other.
And it's going to do this at 60 frames?
Doing it in-game. They didn't... I don't think they mentioned the frame rate, but it's a Forza Motorsport game. They insisted on 60 frames per second on the Xbox One.
It's going to be smooth.
Yeah. I'm not talking about this game for the Xbox One, obviously. I'm talking about Forza Motorsport 5 that came out with a track detail distance of about that far from your face to make sure that they could keep that 60 frames per second. They've said on this one as well, they said that the racing simulation is 48 times more advanced than the previous version, which they measured by holding down the accelerator and going, oh, that was about 48 times better. I don't know what they're basing that on. I'm assuming it's like calculations per second across various parts of the vehicle or whatever else, but they are going all in on the sim racing aspect as well. So.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, this game is going to be... it's incredible what Turn 10 have done with this. This goes to show that they sitting back, taking their time to build this instead of churning them out yearly has paid dividends, and I respect them for doing it. Dan Greenwald, I always get his last name wrong, but he's a very passionate developer. He's been passionate since he spoke about Forza at its inception, and after being inspired by Gran Turismo. But this game has well and truly lapped it already. I mean, look at the visuals of it. Look at they talk about even technically the seasons in the game can affect the tracks, like the heat generated, and that's where the 48, the tire compounds will be affected, the stickiness, the grip. Look at the environments. This is going above and beyond the call. So Asa, you were spot on this, and I'll be honest, I was hoping like, look, it has to be good. Never did I expect it to look that good, like comprehensively that good. I was just saying, you just get the ray tracing ready. But clearly, I was aiming low. And you talk about me having high expectations, which is true. But to exceed that, and I can't wait to play that game.
I'm just more excited with the use of technology for future projects, like other games. Like Forza is great, don't get me wrong. But I'm not really that much into racing games. But this kind of tech, with any other game, with Fable, it's mind-boggling. The opportunities, the doors that it's opening are insane. Like this is something really, really exciting.
That's the great point about the shared tech and the prospect of that. Yeah. This is a next-gen only game as well. So it's not hindered by last gen. And me and Asa have been resolute in championing next-gen.
You know, for all you can scale those visuals down to a previous gen console, but you couldn't scale those physics. If they're 48 times better than the previous version, you couldn't scale that down to an Xbox One. At least not without making it a different game with a separate online system. Like you couldn't have people racing cars that have different physics. Obviously, it wouldn't make any sense. So glad about that. The other thing, I don't like to pat myself on the back, but one thing I said a couple of weeks ago was I'm not sure Forza Motorsport is coming out this year anymore, based on the fact that they hadn't talked about the DLC for Forza Horizon 5 ahead of this show.
True.
Yeah, I said that ages ago.
A lot of people were hoping that this was kind of going to rescue 2022 for Microsoft. Looks phenomenal, not going to rescue 2022. So it is spring next year.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You heard it here first, folks.
What are you talking about in chat? At least take the L here. It's so decisive when as far as the Forza and GT. Just please take the L then, please, for your sanity. That is...
Andrew, have a word with yourself, sir.
Polyphony Digital are known when Forza Motorsport maybe 2 or maybe 3, they sat down with their notes. The team came up over to Turn 10 at E3, I think, and took notes about what Turn 10 were doing, which is ironic considering Turn 10 were inspired by Gran Turismo. This is them just going to be sitting back and just thinking, oh wow, to the point where do we even stand a chance in our next iteration, or perhaps they'll be like emboldened by and motivated to do better with the next Gran Turismo. But yeah, and on your right, graphics don't equal a better game. They don't, but Forza has trumped that as well. Like the
gameplay is solid as well.
Yeah, and all Forza games, they've always been solid. Like, but yeah, each their own. We haven't played the game, so it's really, we'll see. But that's a massive highlight of the Xbox Bethesda showcase. another game that was very visually proficient, and we expected as much. A Plague Tale's Requiem. Asa, this is from Asobo and someone else. Game looks
Asobo's
incredible.
the dev,
Unreal Engine 5, right? Unreal Engine 5?
Yep.
This what's the character's name here? The little kid always says it. It starts with M. Maticia or something. I don't know what it is.
I can't remember.
Look at this game. This looks amazing. Next gen only? Don't tell me it's cross gen. This must be next gen only. UE5.
They made a big deal about the Unreal
UE5's a
Engine, so I
cross-gen
don't think
engine.
it's cross-gen.
Is it cross gen?
UE5 scales all the way down to mobile. I don't know about this game though. I would say speculatively, I mean, there's no reason that this game couldn't be cross-gen because mechanically, you are talking about stuff that could be scaled down. You could change that lighting. You could reduce how good those textures look. I will say, I've not played the first one, and I won't play this one.
Really good.
It's very unlikely in a way because they are stealth games, and I just don't care for stealth. This is not a secret.
But you have to stealth the rats. You got to stealth around the rats. You sneak up on the rats.
And under the table and all the rest of it. It looks horrible in that sense, but it doesn't look horrible. It looks not PlayStation grass. It is a game that really suffered, possibly more than any other, from the quality of the stream, because we were looking at it going, I can sense that there's some really nice textures going on here, but they're not letting us see them on this stream. And it's true. Now you can see it in higher quality. It is a pretty game.
Yeah, no,
terrible
it is
stealth
a
mechanics.
beautiful game. Until you control the rats, then it becomes something else. Yeah.
Control the spice, control the rats.
Props there for the Dune reference. What did you think about this game? Did you play the first game or complete the first game, Seif?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, completed the first game. I actually played it on PS5 because they had the enhanced edition that they put out on PSN. I really enjoyed it. Really good game. Fantastic stealth mechanics, Asa. Not fantastic. It's okay. It's okay. Story-wise, great.
Story is great.
Also looks beautiful. The graphics are very good. From a technical standpoint, it's a really good game. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I think they can just raise the bar even further. It looks just incredible, man. Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be a great game. The story was really compelling. It's one of those games that I tried because of Xbox Game Pass is the reason why I tried it. Otherwise I wouldn't have tried it. So and this is coming on Game Pass as well, I think, which is kind of funny because single player game, no DLC, but do try it. And it's coming very soon this year, right?
Yeah, this year.
October or something. It's going to be wicked. I can't wait to play that. It's going to be a great story game. A game that I imagine a lot of people won't mention, but I will, because this is GameOnDaily. You like variety? Coccoon! Coccoon is so cool. Coccoon is a great game. It just looks amazing. Some games, people like someone super chatted earlier saying, all indie fare, but I only see indies making me feel a certain way about the kind of games that they make.
They're very unique.
They're very unique, magical. There's a flair to them that makes you feel a certain way. If you watch this gameplay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will tell you now. From the developers who made Inside and Limbo.
Yeah. So you got a good pedigree there. There's a good start already.
Oh, incredible!
And guys, anyone who are like naysayers for indie games, I mean, look, if you think about it this way, they're not like generic copy and paste AAA games, which some AAA games can be. Sorry to tell you, but this is like very, very distinctive, very unique. There's a weird onion vagina, and the guy comes out of it is a moth, and he's got these light orbs, and it looks brilliant. Looks really, really unique. It's fantastic. So yeah, this is exciting.
Let me just look at it. Look at the mechanics and tell me
Bask
what kind
in the ambience.
Bask in the ambience. And look at the way. Whoa, that was. I watched it before, and that just kind of tripped me out.
Those portal things. That's crazy, man. That's so cool.
Do you know though, the Coccoon only features at the start. I would have called the game balls. They're way more prevalent than the Coccoon.
Yeah, there's a lot of balls in the Coccoon. There maybe there's some subliminal messaging there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, something going on here.
Look at this, man. What kind of mind creates that? You have to be so incredibly just
high.
Yes, that's the answer. That's the word I was looking for. High. Beautiful, just incredible. Shout out to them. whoever the developers are, incredible. I'm at awe at your just creative genius.
Yeah, that's one of the highlights of that show, I think.
For me, it definitely was a highlight. Asa, are you going to be playing Coccoon, the balls game?
Balls game.
I might get to it, but I'm not. It's not one that's like high on my list of anticipated games. But obviously, that dev has some pedigree. Like people love Limbo and Inside, so I'll give it a go. But I'm not too bothered by it.
And I think this is an indie game, but shout out to 431 people watching. Smash that like button if you're enjoying the show. Another indie game, I think it's a indie game, forgive me if I'm wrong, but Hollow Knight Silksong. Holy, I've slept on them, but look at this game. This game reminded me it's like Ori, but weird and just so stylistically dank. That's the only word we can use reasonably to describe this game. It's just so beautiful. This is a game I can't wait to play. Asa, surely you're going to play this game.
Well, Gaz, have you played Hollow Knight?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Are you
massive fake fan?
Neither have I.
I was just wondering, because Hollow Knight is stylistically very similar to this being sequel, so that just makes a lot of sense. You should probably play that. That's available now. You don't need to wait. So try Hollow Knight first. This has been a game that a lot of people have been waiting on for so long. Like every time there is an indie-focused event, people are asking for it. It's obviously shown up at the Xbox One because Xbox have identified that level of hype and said, hey, let's put this one on Game Pass. So there it is. Everyone can try it.
I'm buying that. Hey, what about you, Seif? Are you gonna be? Have you played Hollow Knight's game?
I've never played Hollow Knight. Never played it. And actually, this is most of this gameplay. I missed it. The original trailer. I'm gonna rewatch it again. It does look like something I'll play because I do like those kind of games. Like you mentioned, Ori. So this looks really cool. So I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much. We talked about variety. Xbox is the best value in gaming. We're not doing this, Asa. I'm not going to be chill. You know what? Only after the show ended, I figured what you were trying to get at. Like those influencers. Is that what you're trying to say? Like they said, best
Let's
value
not go
in
into that again right now. Yeah. We'll talk about that another time.
That's not what I only
it's a chill statement.
After I watched the show.
I'll only say, you can say that it's great value, right? Game Pass is great value. It is. And you can say that it's the best value service. But if you just say it's the best value in gaming with no qualifier, no caveats at all, you're probably quoting a marketing line that you've heard from an influencer.
Oh, I see.
And he's easily influenced, guys.
and it's not Game Pass that I'm criticizing. Like, it's really not Game Pass that I'm criticizing. It's a fantastic service.
Why did you explain that to me yesterday? You just like to watch me just bury myself. But yeah, like there's so much variety. The Xbox Game Pass to me as a service is incredible variety. So it is really the kind of savior, despite the massively anemic first party AAA showing, which you have to clap back on it. I'm not going to tolerate. Who am I to say tolerate? Whatever. It just sounds like so preachy. Like, who am I to literally sit here and have a berate them? But ultimately, I just do feel like Xbox fans should call them out for some of the AAA things, because that's how we traditionally judge things. But Game Pass is saving it. Percolator 9000, thank you for the $5 super chat, because I love the show. I can't wait, Gaz. I need Bottle of Water this year. I'm playing different types of games. Oh, look, that's perfect time to talk about that. I like all the games they showed. Purple Tree Fog with a £5 super chat. I enjoyed the show as well. I play anything though, so there's more out for me to please me. If only people want one genre, they're going to be disappointed. Absolutely, they're going to be. But there was such a multitude of genres. I'll tell you one.
Massive variety.
Massive variety. And Spartan Go 17 with a £2 super chat. Best value in gaming is the bargain bin always. I'll tell you. Talk about variety. You guys need to recognize. This came out of nowhere. High on Life. This game was just... Well, look at it. It's so good. The guns in the game have more weight in terms of narrative than Halo Infinite in totality. No, I'm being a dick. But look at this game. Look, visually incredible. Just... humor-wise, from Rick and Morty's creators. If you played, I played it on VR. What was it called?
The chair one.
Rick and Morty VR.
No, they did Rick and Morty VR. They did Accounting Plus. Accounting and Accounting Plus. They did The one with the
What's it
chair.
called?
I can't remember what it's called. It begins with T. Whatever, it doesn't
I
matter.
forgot the name. Yeah, but look at this game.
Sure.
This game looks so good, looks so funny. The
zany.
dialogue was genuinely making it laugh. Like, look at the gun design.
And the voice actors are there from Rick and Morty. The art style is very similar. It's so messed up and weird and so funny though. Like it looks so unique. The animation is beautiful. Look at the animation of the guys. Like this game looks like a really, really good FPS, and it's like a Rick and Morty created. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
Look at this knife. What the hell is that about? Man?
Even
It's amazing.
look at the
eyeball
eyeball just popping
That's
out
amazing.
of that. I mean, it's so rare to have games that have screaming that much character, and be that creative, and then you've got it down to the weapon. Every weapon has its own dialogue. It's talking to you. It's visually just. It's got to be next gen only, surely. I keep saying that, but.
Yeah, it is. It must be.
Yeah, it's just so nice, man. High on Life, whoever the devs, I can't wait
There's
for
a
it.
mod in
And
here.
Launch
when is it coming
games.
out?
It's this year.
Squad
I'll tell you in a minute, but High on Life.
It's this. When is it
Any
coming
second.
out?
Xbox. Game
Yeah.
Pass.
Game Pass,
No,
Day
it
one.
doesn't.
Game Pass. Day one. Sick.
And
I
it
can't
doesn't have
remember
any
what date
dates.
it's coming
Okay,
out. The thing that
yeah.
surprised me about that game though is like, so Squanch have a load of personality, a load of the sense of humor is primary on display, but it also looks like a really good game. So you've got all of this character, and you've got these weapons, you've got the comedy, but everything looks so polished as well. Like there's actually a good game behind it too. That's a surprise highlight, that one. I wasn't expecting to see that. I don't think many people were. I will be all over it when it comes out. That one looks fun.
I have a feeling it's going to be a short game, which I don't actually mind. I don't mind because time of the essence. Like I just don't have time. You have content creators make content, make videos, day job, all of that. But a shorter game with all the variety and all the different weapons, and it's just I have a sneaking suspicion it'll be a shorter game.
Maybe as long as it's got a replay value, though. Replay value is worth a lot, and you can do so many things. You don't have to have a long campaign.
Games, man.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't go back to playing single player games. This is a single player game, as far as I'm aware. That like I'll be happy to play it, have great time for maybe even 5 hours, and I'll be like, yeah, done with it. Amazing. Humor, everything.
You probably wouldn't be saying that quite so happily if it wasn't on Game Pass.
If you had to pay it, exactly.
Like if it was a game you were buying, you probably would be more keen on it lasting longer than 5 hours.
Money's worth.
Price dependent.
Oh, 100%. And just to clarify, Goggle Po. Sorry, I don't know if I'm mispronouncing your name. I don't know if it's short. I'm just guessing they're like just they're gonna keep it short and sweet, maybe. And it's because of Game Pass is why I'm saying that. It may not be the case. It might be a long game. I have no idea. It just seems like that to me. Don't ask me why. Just Danny Passion Official. Nice to see you. Thank you for being a member for 5 months. He goes Redfall, A Plague's Tale 2, Forza Motorsport, Woolock. I'm going to go into that. Starfield, 2 or 3 other games that I don't remember. The games I want to play from the show. 8.5 out of 10. That's quite high. Okay, fine, fair enough. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Can we talk about Wulong, by the way? What is this game? You said it looked good. Everyone is saying that, but I haven't seen any gameplay. Or have I mistaken myself here? Why is everyone hyped to it? Is it because it's Team Ninja? What's it called? What's it called?
Ninja, yeah.
Team Ninja, yeah. Like...
And like before Seif goes into his enthusiasm on it, I'll just say like, I thought it looked terrible. That's why it looked terrible. It came up and I was like,
did they show gameplay of it?
Is this like a PlayStation 3 game that's coming across? What's going on here? I get that Xbox don't have like a whole load of games from Japan, so it's like the opportunity's there. They're going to take it. They're going to get it. They're going to put it out there. And you know, if it is a Musu game, it might show better than it did in the trailer, but. Everything looked pretty basic.
It was hard to tell what kind of game it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, Phil Spencer came out. Is it because Team Ninja making it that he wanted to make a point about it, like Japan? Is that why?
It was very close to the Persona announcements that again we can talk about in a minute. So, yeah, it is saying like, look, we are trying over here to get this kind of games onto the platform. It does look.
Yeah.
It looks better here than it did live. Again, because you watch it in that terrible stream quality, but
I don't know what the game is like. And people are excited. I'm not saying don't be excited, by the way. I'm just like I genuinely don't know what the game is. Is it Mushu games like Destiny?
Going by the scenes that were just there as you were talking, they had some combat. And there were a lot of enemies in the background. So gonna guess
It does strike me
along
as a
the
Musa
lines
game,
of
that's why I
Dynasty
did
Warriors.
guess.
Yes.
Yeah, but
don't do these kind of games, do they? Team Ninja haven't done them.
Yeah. No, Tecmo Koei does.
Yeah.
So they
Okay.
do those.
Team Ninja
Yeah.
are quite good with their combat in games like Ninja Gaiden and
Yeah.
stuff. I'm thinking this might be something special. And for
Yeah.
Phil Spencer to come out on stage to make a point of it, maybe. So I don't know. I'm just trying to get an idea on it. Spartan Ghost 17 with a £2 super chat. Curious to hear your impressions on Starfield. You want to hear our impression of Starfield? Hit the like button. No, just do it if you haven't done it already. We are going to talk about Starfield. Should we talk about it at the end? Because that's quite.
At the end,
I'll talk about it recently. Keep you there, like notorious little bosses that I am. Keep you lingering. Don't go anywhere. And we'll talk about Starfield at the end because there is quite a lot to talk about. The game that took on the longest time of the showcase. There's a lot to talk about there. Good and bad. So we talked about quite a few games. There's a lot. I don't want to. That was actually a really cool game. The Last Case of Benedict
Cumberbatch. Yes, whatever.
That game.
Yeah.
Look, again, you might be thinking, why are we bringing that up? Why wouldn't we bring it up? It's a beautiful looking game.
Yeah, it looks great.
What does it look like? What did it look like?
It's a 2D, 3D, side-scrolling, puzzly, Cthulhu. I don't know what, but it's like I was saying earlier, it's my cup of choice. Yeah, basically, yeah. It looks really cool. I really like the look of it.
Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares is known for being quite Tim Burton-esque, which this isn't so much, but pacing-wise of the movement through Seif's 2D, 3D environment had that kind of vibe to me.
Yeah, it did. It's beautiful. And then we talked about variety. Look at this.
But even the lighting is nice. The artwork is beautiful looking game.
Beautiful, yeah.
And you can double jump as well. It's always a plus.
Is this an indie game? I
think so.
I imagine so, but it's like.
I've never heard of developer.
Do you know the distinction? I don't know why people are so keen to ask, is it indie, is it not? Like, who cares? If it's a game, then maybe it'll be good.
True.
I'm not saying that as a criticism, but I just don't see the distinction as that important.
For me personally, I'll be honest with you, every time I mention, I feel like not subconscious or consciously want to mention this point a lot in our shows because it's, and I don't just say it just for the sake of appearances. I genuinely it's a critique from me of the big AAAs in terms of just ingenious design and just originality in games. I want to really to me, they're like, what game comes close to that? I mean, Rick and Morty maybe comes close
then
to
while
in
we're
terms
here,
of
then, so if we're doing that particular distinction, like the indie game, studio game, whatever, Pentiment's from Obsidian, and it's from a small team at Obsidian. So where are you categorizing that? Are you calling that an indie because the team is small? It's definitely not a AAA budget game. It's also not an independent
with
developer.
That one, it's not really because they've got a support structure of Obsidian there, and they will have no doubt a lot more resources available to them. The beauty of indie games generally for me is that you've got these sometimes lone devs with very finite resources. Like me and you, Asa, come on, we've stretched ourselves thin with GameOnDaily as a platform, and we do this we bleed it like passion on a website and everything, and the struggle is real. Maybe perhaps subconsciously I can feel an affinity with indie devs, but even if you peel all of that away, like look at Project Pentiment. I mean, I kind of laughed at it on RDX when I was there.
You don't need to call it Project Pentiment anymore. Like, it's actually the name of the game. You can just call it Pentiment.
It's not a project.
No, it was. But Pentiment it could be interesting, but I just thought like this versus even Silksong or what's it called, Benedict Cumberbatch game, Benedict Fox. Just like, okay, like they'll no doubt have on tap the resources of Obsidian, but an indie dev doesn't have that, and yet they regularly produce some of the most incredible games that we get to experience. So I'm very happy about that. A lot of people like myself will be quite scathing. I gave the show a 6 out of 10. I stick by that, and a lot of it is because of the absence of AAA games. But this is what I said right at the start of the show. My assessment of what the game showcase should be, and it's more nuanced than that when you peel into the layers. 6 out of 10 for what the show should be, but the quality of some of the games are incredible. I'm genuinely happy about it, but also disappointed in the lack of AAAs, what I would consider a successful show. But there are other games. Let's talk about Persona 3, 4, and 5. That was a big one. That there was a rumor mill. I played Persona 5. That's day one on Game Pass as well. You're not paying for that. That's a full price game.
Definitely not day one. Day one as far as the Xbox launch goes. It's a PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah.
Day one, if you count the first day you see it on Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. And that to me is just like, if I played Persona 5, I really liked it, but fell away from it. I felt like I wanted to play this on a tablet, or Switch, or if I could play on my Steam Deck through Game Pass, which I don't know how that works. I'm on that. Persona 5. I think I'll skip 3 and 4. But what about you, Seif? Are you played Persona games?
No, I've never played any Persona games. They do look really interesting though, and it's nice to have like a set of them on Game Pass now. So fans of the series who wanted to play it on Game Pass on an Xbox console, now you have the chance. For people who've never played it, like myself, this is a really good opportunity to jump in. And I've heard really good things about it. It's very, very popular. So I'll give it a look. It's not really my kind of thing, but it looks quite interesting. But the value of Game Pass, you can't like understate it. The fact that we have these games, they're there if you want to play it. No one's forcing you to, but it's nice to have it. So why not give it a go?
Yeah, definitely. Please do try it though. If you that's what the symptom of Game Pass is. A lot of people will try and explore different things. Are you going to explore Persona 5, Asa?
I explored it already. I had it I've actually got both versions on the PlayStation, so Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royale, where they added a few bits and a grappling hook. I'm not a massive fan. Stylistically, it's cool. The music is cool and the art style is cool. But I don't know why so many JRPGs are set in schools and inevitably go into weird dating mechanics, and it's just like...
Yeah, it's very anime-ish. They love that. It's one of their favorite settings.
A lot, very strongly.
They do, but I don't. And I'm like, this isn't.
It's a different culture, man. We don't have the same high school stuff in the UK. It's very different. You can't imagine this stuff. This stuff happens in Japan every day, all the time, man. I'm sure.
Yeah, in the UK games, it'll be like Asbo Simulator. In Japan, they love their schools, I guess.
Chav Simulator 3000.
Chav Simulator 3000.
Give me your lunch money, bruv. Press X to run away.
But that's another like statement of intent from Microsoft that they want to take Japan seriously. So shout out to them, and they have taken it seriously. Persona is a big one. Everyone said get Persona out there on Xbox. Done. Like, what more do you want? And on Game Pass, and 3 of those games, no matter how old they are, there you go. You got it. Can't be ungrateful about that. Another game that I have played on PC that not many maybe Xbox players may have played, but I hope that makes this game blow up a little bit, is Naraka Bladepoint. Talk about battle royale games that are quite unique. This was a great game. I kind of fell off it because there's a lot there. It's very different to your standard battle royale game. The game has it's a third-person game. It's like a hack and slash game, but with incredibly addictive like traversal mechanics. It's quite proficient in the wall running, and you use it's like Ninja Gaiden mixed with like combat, mixed with some it's really, I can't explain. Ace has brought up on the screen. Like, Ace, have you haven't played this game, have you?
No, because we were going to play it together, and you decided that you didn't want to. So you just left me in the lobby.
No, that's a lie.
I've been waiting in the lobby for like a year. Like, when's he going to log on? When's he going to log on? And we haven't done it yet.
It's a always lie. No, look at it. I mean, the combat is like this, like literally no open world, and it's just like you come across another player, and it is like just pretty epic. And there's a lot of depth there, and I already bought the microtransactions on PC, even though I played it once or twice because I'm a piece of shit human being. But the game is just really nice. I can't wait to play on console. I think it would be better fit for me on a console with playing that with a controller, and I can't wait to play that. And that's coming out very soon, maybe I think next week or something. I may be wrong.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact date, but
might come up on the screen.
And crossplay as well.
If I let it.
Yeah, and this is a kind of game where it really doesn't matter if you're PC or Xbox because the way it is. Really good game. And I'm intrigued to see how much the game has progressed and developed since I first played it in early access. Seif, are you a battle royale guy? Would you be playing it? Chat, what do you think? Are you going to play this?
I'm not a battle royale guy normally. This does look fun, and it's definitely the kind of game that I can imagine myself playing with some friends. For example, I might join you on that. Hit some microtransactions. Oh shit! Can't wait to level up from day one. It's gonna be sick. And I've got a couple of other friends that might be interested in this. It wasn't on my radar. I'd never heard of it before. It looks pretty cool. So again, nice to have Game Pass. You have a chance to check out all these games. So I'm gonna give it a go as well.
Absolutely, and there's so much content there that you're getting. This is a really good game, good game. Untitled, thank you for the £2 super checkers. You have to put your show on Spotify, guys, please. We already have we are on Spotify, and the show will be up in a few hours, Asa, or whatever. Pretty much.
No, we do. So yesterday's show is already on Spotify. I do them straight after usually. So I can put this one on Spotify as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to check it out. So do check it out on Spotify.
I might clear up this vacuum cleaner noise that you've all been complaining about before I put on Spotify. So
I apologize, man. Listen, I'll tell you what it is. 1 second. It's literally my laptop. It's not even the fans. The laptop, I had technical difficulties earlier. Yeah. And the thing is about to take off like my old PS3 used to threaten me with. Why are you so loud? I bet there's a moth trapped in there. Guys, by the way, I did ask you guys in the chat. There is a moth in my room somewhere. It attacked me earlier on. I'm fine. Okay, I'm fine now. But if you do see it, please do let me know.
He did tell us this, guys. If you do see a moth, please let me know. He's scared of moths.
Bro, it's like Batman.
Why is Arc 2, man? Vin Diesel's in it. They showed if I remember correctly, and this looks like a bald-faced lie in case it's true, they said it's in-engine or real-time footage captured in Unreal Engine 5. I don't believe it. Bullshit.
Why not? Why not?
That's what I'm going to say. Bullshit. That is not much.
Why?
Bro, what are you talking about? Look at this game, man. Look at the physics. Look at the leads. Bullshit. It's such a bullshit lie. There is no way that game looks like
that. This is the Jeff Goldblum of all dinosaur simulators, man. Look at this. Life will find a way.
There's no way that game looks like this.
My friend Vin Diesel, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs?
There's no way. Like, that is an engine. There's very, very bullshit. Look at the hair. We know for a
Baby Aloy.
Yeah, Vin Diesel's got so pretty good hair modelled there.
Yeah. Not Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel? He has no hair, sir.
No, the kid there. I think that is a nonsense as well, especially if you know how Arc performed. That had literally had 3 frames per second. Speaking of which, this is it. That's the segue into the big one, the big show. Ladies and gentlemen, what I thought they was going to show, what a lot of us thought they're going to start off the show with, is actually what they ended the show with, and that was Starfield. Starfield is wow. Like, wow. Yes. For many reasons. Can we start off possibly with a negative so we can gush over the positives, please?
Good.
I am astounded by how bad the frame rate is for this game. Asa, I'm not the most technical of people, so forgive me.
I thought it was wonderful that you could you don't need any special software to count the frame rate in this game at the moment. You can count them on your fingers as it refreshes. There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, it's got some polishing ahead of it.
Yeah, it does. Possibly why the game got delayed, but even then, I question how much time the time permitting this to look even more smoother, and it's just like it was like the frame rate was bad in areas that weren't even that massively popular. There's a lot of the design you could see. There were some barren landscapes in there and still performed really janky. So the performance is up there. Like, we have to massive question mark. Like, some people are saying it has to be 60 frames. No, you need to sit there and beg and sit the solid 30 at this point. But that's more or less the only negative I can think of for this game, because I am well and truly shocked at Well, visually, generally, it was just really nice. I thought generally, visually, it was not mind-blowing. Some bits stood out better than others. Asa, what do you think? Seif, talk to me. It's not just me. I'm talking. I'm conscious of the fact I'm not showing up.
I've always said
So
about
go for it.
Bethesda games in general.
I've got a few nitpicks, but you go for it.
Yeah, Bethesda games in general, and I've said this about Starfield for a long time as well. They showed the in-engine footage a while ago, and I was surprised at how good it looks. But Bethesda's games, for all they do technically well, they don't show in the way that like a Naughty Dog game would or something like that, because they're so vast in scope, and you can have any amount of good lighting and texture detail, but it's not got the cinematic flair of those Sony games, so it's never going to show in a trailer as well. But it is visually still amazing. And it's the same. Fallout 4 was very much like it. Fallout 4, people look at screenshots and say it's not that pretty, but actually in game it was quite impressive, if you could get it performing well. This has really nice environments, really nice lighting and things. You can also say with fair confidence that it's real. So unlike Arc 2, where you're looking at it going, I wonder if it's actually going to look anything like this. This is real. There's enough flaws that you can say that's a real game.
Crab people.
I think some people exactly friendly crab people. I think some people will still be disappointed with the facial animations when it gets to characters. And again, it's an issue of scope. They can't. I mean, a Naughty Dog game has 2,000 people working on it, and everyone is meticulously animating every single face. You can't do that in a game of this scope. And the faces do still look a little bit wooden and a little bit expressionless quite a lot of the time. So I'm sure people will pick up on that as a flaw. But
they look like Polar Express characters.
I've not seen Polar Express, so I'll take your word for it.
It's just got a reputation for having like dead eyes, like characters like
yeah, and it's like, but it's
the laser.
It's
Don't
scope.
forget about
Like,
the laser.
I've never said these things as like a criticism though, because this is just what you come to expect with a Bethesda game, because they are big and they do things differently. Their intent isn't to be a Naughty Dog game. It's not linear. It's not focused. It's huge. And there's just a hell of a lot going on.
It's huge. So. It's going to be tremendous game, guys. Huge game. So many things to do. So many games. Amazing. So many weapons, spaceships, characters. We got Mexicans. We got Puerto Ricans. We got so many people play this game. It's going to be huge.
I want to let this impression run, but I also want to say, so just really quickly. So Albert G, I've just seen in chat, has just said that Death Stranding has scope and graphically looks way better than Starfield. Scope isn't size, they're different things. I just like scope and size are not the same thing. Death Stranding is huge, but it's not doing what Starfield does.
Say it properly.
No, you do that.
Huge. Yeah. Let me tell you my impressions of the game now. So I have a few nitpicks, but they don't detract from how much I enjoyed this gameplay footage. Like, they've got volumetric lighting, the art style is beautiful, you can customize your own ship. Man, I'm so excited about that. I've always wanted a game like this. It's very ambitious. As Asa was saying, it's huge scope. So I will forgive any of the little nitpicks, like the facial animations might not be perfect. This game is inevitably going to be huge. It's going to be massive. So they need to focus on they don't need to focus on those little individual parts. They can just have like amazing scale and scope. Okay, maybe there's loads of planets to explore. They might be bland or a bit lifeless, but the fact that there are so many of them, they're so massive, the environments are crazy, and the level of detail that has gone into the textures. You see that texture, when the ship lands and the smoke looked a little bit dodgy at first, like the dust that was being blown up. Yeah. But then you got the laser, you can mine the ore from the laser, and then you've got the spaceship and you can customize, and the guns look cool, the animation looks cool, gunplay looks solid. There are crabs that don't attack you, friendly crab people. Like, I've always wanted to play that. And even we were talking about the game. I think you made a good point, actually, Gaz, when we were watching it earlier. The gunplay looks kind of like Cyberpunk, like on a good day. It looks not as. Yeah, not as smooth. It's the frame rate is a bit dodgy, but the gameplay is solid, and I wasn't expecting that kind of gameplay. I actually, honestly, I wasn't sure what kind of combat element we'd have in the game. So I was almost half expecting a kind of Fallout style, is it VATS? I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
System like that, like a lock-on system, take
That's
your time.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, and that would have made it probably a bit dodgy, but the fact that it's got like this sense of scale, this epicness, this like space opera feel to it, with all these factions and all this amazing sort of, I reckon the lore's going to be crazy, but with solid gunplay in it, that is beautiful, man. So I'm really looking forward to this. I don't really have anything else bad to say about it. Yeah, it's exciting, very, very exciting. It's going to be huge. So many things to do.
It is. I didn't expect it to be like. I knew they were going for the scope, the 20 years in the making, and all of that. And a part of me was like, how much of that is just marketing fluff that they're just saying? But then the game regularly just shocked me, the scale. Like the city, obviously, this is going to perform in, I don't know, God knows what frame rate. But in terms of just the scale of, you can build your bases in the game, like a whole base on a planet, like, and it looks incredible. You can customize your ship quite crazily, the customizations on the ship, and then to show it
different
like
parts
in detail,
and colors, and
like it's just amazing. And then on top of that, you have space combat that they show in the game as well, and that looked amazing.
And
like
that looks
I hope
solid.
you get and this leads to Spartan Ghost super chat. He goes, thank you for that. He goes, not scared about the procedural generation, 100 systems. And I mean, the risk with procedural generation is that lack of curation on game worlds means that perhaps they'll become derivative and quite rote in the mission structure. But I don't think so. I think you'll have a mix of core quest mechanics and story-driven stuff with factions. It remains to be seen. It remains to be seen how they marry that up. That's a good question, because and someone was mocking the fact that IGN compared it with No Man's Sky. I don't think that's a unfair comparison, because it does have No Man's Sky vibes, and fire the laser. The laser. You do the exploratory work, the thousands of worlds. I just did not expect. Look at the weapon customizations are insane. The variety of enemies. How many are they gonna have?
There's creatures and people to fight as well. Probably a lot of variety to the combat as well. So
I was pleasantly surprised by how, even though the frame rate might be shit, the combat looked really good. Like the gunplay looked really good. It looked better to me than Cyberpunk's gunplay, because Cyberpunk's gunplay just was really janky and unsatisfying. But Danny Passion Official says, read my super chat. Did you guys think about Redfall and Forza Motorsport? Bro, you missed it, bruh. We started it.
Where have you been, my friend? We are finished.
We started off talking about those, Danny. Do check that out early, after the show ends. We had a lot to talk about it. But this game looks amazing. And then you have the factions on top of it as well. Yeah. So, and you have to align with a faction. You have to pick a faction. You got all the RPG scope.
I have to bring
Someone
this up
pointed
again
out that it's closer to Star Citizen. That's a good point. Sorry, Asa, go on, Karen.
No, I can't find it on the trailer now. It's too long. Just on the shipbuilding bit, they literally put the explosive barrels on the outside of the ship, and I can't handle it. What are you doing? Don't put them there.
But how do you know explosives?
It says on it, on the top. The icon says this is going to blow up if shot, and they put it on the outside of the ship.
Oh, really?
No, because I think whoever's making the ship is a boss, so he wants to do a boss battle, and you need to have weak points. He's doing us a favor as gamers.
It's only fair, yeah. You got to have them vulnerabilities in there.
Maybe he needs the extra fuel. Might have a gameplay element to it. Like you have to have extra fuel tanks to get to that
put
planet.
It somewhere less on the outside.
Maybe he has to, because you have to weigh it up. Like, all right, I have no choice. Out of necessity, I have to put it there for extra frame shift drive speed or something. I don't know.
I'll just say on the procedural generation thing, it is a fair concern, because you can have 1,000 planets and you're not going to have enough cities to really populate one of those planets. So it's the Mass Effect thing. So everybody, when Mass Effect was first talked about before it came out, people had such wild expectations of just how much you could explore within one galaxy. And the reality was most of the planets there you couldn't even land on. You just had this little scanning interface to see if you could get some resources. Starfield is clearly going further than that. Realistically, you have to have procedural generation there. They do go in the trailer after this nice little space combat bit. They do show some of the examples of the procedurally generated planets, and they're nice. Like there's variety in there, so I'm not massively concerned. I don't expect every planet to have like as many cities as our real one does, but
No,
expectations.
No, it won't.
It's a fair concern.
And in space exploration, they're just like settlement. I mean, realistically, I think that they're aiming to be fairly realistic. Look at that, looks crazy. That's beautiful. Asteroid field. We're gonna have a dogfight there. It's gonna be sick.
Like it. This is a heavyweight title for Xbox that will be
It's the Mike Tyson of games.
Yeah. It will be, man. It's gonna be just. I think it's gonna be the gem of this gen. I am so glad that a AAA studio has the appetite of these guys, because this is the
imagine a world where Microsoft hadn't bought Bethesda and I could be getting this in VR.
Imagine a world.
then it would be a forever game like Skyrim. But Microsoft have bought them, so it's not coming for me. I don't get my VR. I'm still going to play it, but such a missed opportunity. That game would be wonderful.
It is a missed opportunity, and but one day when they do take VR seriously, we will talk about how immersive this game truly can be. But I don't know who it was. If you mentioned Star Citizen, it does actually kind of make.
I think in terms of its scope and ambition and what you can do, it's kind of like Star Citizen.
I mean, Star Citizen does something very different, but also at the same time, it does kind of like, it does look and feel. You've got RPG stuff, you've got gameplay mechanics that are more than just traverse or building a ship, and fair enough, it doesn't look visually like as crazy as it is, but like, come on, man. The game is coming out next year. Like, geez, man. Like, it's amazing. Samurai KBG in the chat. Yo, how you doing, man? KBG. They focused on when the title's coming and built trust by showing gameplay. We talked about it, said gameplay. Sure, the big glaring omission of the big AAAs is apparent, but they did show gameplay. And this game, what the hell does Jurassic Park? Look, this is the bit you're talking about. Look at the graphics on some of these bits. Like, so much variety in this game.
The particle effects, the debris in the asteroid field, the foliage, the crater, the things.
If these scenes that they're showing now are the result of their procedural generation engine, then it's doing the trick. Like,
that's very impressive. If that's the case.
Yeah,
if they're pre-rendered or whatever, then it's understandable. That's really good. But there's your ship with the fuel tanks on the outside. No, I'm joking. Shit game, 3 out of 10. No, it's gonna be incredible. I really am. Gaz isn't whining. Hell frozen over. Dan Lazaro with a negative super chat. Maybe. Guys, there's a positive. Why are you like the way you are, Dan? I don't know. But yeah, like, that's gonna be great. Look, I'm gonna wrap up the show. I think we've covered pretty much most of the games. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I'll stick with the 6 out of 10. Dorian, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. Let's not forget mods. Yes, on the PC side. Hopefully Xbox carries over. That's a great point. Great point there. But as in many ways, the Xbox show wasn't as good as, in my opinion, it should have been, but I'm still very excited about the future of Xbox. I'm very happy with some of these big games. Look, so the quality did dwindling. Nah, that's not even gonna be an issue. Rain, I did talk about Kojima, catch up with the show after the fact. It's good time to be an Xbox fan. They didn't do what they should do, in my opinion, but there's so much variety in gameplay and so much to play that it's not the end all. It's not the end all. And Xbox is doing things in an incredibly proficient way in many ways, in terms of variety, in terms of being unmatched in its races, in its RPGs, in its like variety in Japanese games. They're trying to cover all the bases. There's some points left, like the big AAA third-person game. That's going to be. I'm disappointed we didn't see Indiana Jones. What are you disappointed? Yeah. If we wrap up the show, your summary, gents, and chat, do let me know what you think as well. Kind of actually in chat, can you just, out of 10, what score would you give it? Can you just let us know in chat? Just chuck some numbers out there, guys.
The poll had 820 votes, and that's out of 5.
Nobody does scores out of 5, eh? What are you doing? So, give us a score out of 10, guys.
Okay, so someone said 12. Thanks a lot for that. Okay, it's 20%. All right, 40% said 4 out of 5.
Again, a lot of
said 5 out of 5.
8 actually.
3%. Well, I'm looking at chat. Okay, so a lot of people, it's all over the place. No one thought it was crap. I don't think it was a crap show. A lot of high scores in chat right now as well.
There are some high scores.
And the sixes, a lot of fair few 6s and 7s. So thank God, I'm glad I'm not the only one. But yeah, look, generally, I don't think the show was what it should have been, but I'm very excited for some of these games, and we're going to be playing a lot of games in the immediate future. So that's my take on it. Asa, what's your take on Xbox show? What are you excited for in the future?
This is looping back to where we started the show, but for me, I think they would have blown us all away if they'd gone for 18 months instead of 12. Now, I'm not necessarily disappointed because it's a good 12 months, but I think if they just extended that window up to Christmas, then they would have had some of the real bombshells that we don't know about. Massively looking forward to Starfield. Massively looking forward to playing Gran Turismo 7 in my VR headset and wishing that it was more like Forza Motorsport. No, Forza Motorsport looks phenomenal. I'm going to enjoy the Hot Wheels DLC for Horizon when that comes out. The Squanch Games High, whatever it was, I've forgotten the name. Massively looking forward to that. That's quite soon.
Yeah.
And Diablo 4. I mean, like I said, we're going to have a lot of the same standouts, except that you two might include some stealth games and I won't. But for me, it was pretty good show. Like the 12 months has got plenty to be getting on with. The rest of this year has plenty to be getting on with, even if it doesn't have the massive heavy hitters from a first-party studio that people are asking for. There was not a shortage of games for me. Yeah. That's my take on it. What about you, Seif?
Fair enough. Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I think it was a solid show. I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't surprised. It did what it said on the tin, which is I was expecting those kind of shows, those games to be shown. Starfield is my big one. I'm really excited, and finally seeing some gameplay just solidified my sort of my feelings on it. Like I was always excited about it, but now I'm just like I can't wait to get my hands on that game. You got so much variety, as we said, and just to point out as well, when it comes to indie games, some people were kind of poo-pooing it. But those games, when they have a limited budget and a smaller scope, that actually is a perfect sort of starting off point for creativity. So those games are really creative, really unique. Don't sleep on them. Check out those indie games and those smaller games. You won't be disappointed. They don't have to be AAA. Okay, we don't have any major AAA releases. So in that sense, the show was a little bit disappointing. But look, we are eating very well. If you're a Game Pass subscriber, we have plenty of things to look forward to in the next 12 months. You can't really complain. There's so much to do, so much to play. It's going to be great. So it's going to be huge. So beautiful, tremendous. He's a great guy, terrific guy. Kojima, I love that guy. He's a terrific friend of mine. He's a great guy, Kojima. And we're going to play some games. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, it will. And yeah, I can't say anything more than I've talked way too much. Before we do go, please hit the like button if you did enjoy this show, and you will catch us on Apple and Spotify after the fact. You can check us out. Please do that. Do check out GameOnDaily.com. I'm going to read these super chats. Aaron Hasley, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. The producer of Bloodborne is working on Wulong, which I didn't know about until you mentioned that. So that's quite interesting. I didn't know that.
Very interesting.
And what influence that has on the game. What is the game? We need to see. ITHX 1138. Thank you for the $2 super checkers. The show was a solid SN8K. I don't know what that means. I thought I meant 8 out of 10. But yeah. So there's a lot to eat there. It's gonna be great to get your views, and we'll see you next week. We're eating good. Hopefully get time to do on the impressions video of what our live reactions, me, Seif, and Asa watched the show, and I'll edit that in a way that we did the Bethesda, the Game Showcase 2022. Thank you so much, everyone. We're really grateful for everyone who came out to watch us. I know everyone's streaming. It's really nice to see all of you here. Please smash the like button if you did enjoy the show, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.